Yeah, I know. There should be somebody on the camera, but I spent all the money they gave me to hire a technical crew on skunk, and so I'm out. I'm out of skunk. I mean, I'm out of technical crew. I gotta do this all myself. So when I'm funny, that's all me. And when I'm not funny, well, that's because I don't have a technical crew. You see how? Yeah. See, chaos is better than law. Well, anyway. What a nice day it is today. Now watch some scientists muck it up. You ready? Okay. What is a soul? Well, that's a good question, don't you think? I think it is. And because I lived on Patchworld, as well as in the Western Mark, I know more about what it means to be a soul and what a soul is than anyone else alive. Anyone on this planet, at least. Now you may say, Eshkalar, you say a soul and you think you are one. I see what you did there. And you're right. And that isn't my concern, because my job is to be Eshkalar, not to accede or ascribe to someone else's code of excellence, because that would drag me down, man. That would like rock my mojo cool, and I'd have to get some more skunk. And like I says, I'm low on money right now, so stop making me feel guilty about being perfect. Thank you. So here's the story about the soul. There is a tiny bit of magic in the universe, even after all the other magic is gone from the breakdown of the elements that release magical gauge particles, kells, right, into the standing magical field, which is the ninth quantum field. If you don't know about this, what are you doing when you could be learning? Listening to Britney Spears? What does she know? An awful lot about business. So anyway, and cardio. And what a Brazilian wax is. I thought that was kung fu. Brazilian wax, whack, whack, whack. No. Oh, was I surprised? Really? So anyway. The gauge particle of the magical standing field is the kell. And that is replenished by the breakdown of the magical emitting elements, Deminsk, Hecatium, right, Ephodium. These elements, which are no longer in existence in this present universe of mine and yours, because we're too old in the universe. And if you pardon me borrowing an expression from radioactivity, the half-life of magical minerals is rather shorter than it is of the longest lived radioactive minerals. That means something to someone somewhere. That's good. For the rest of you, have a hit off your beer, watch some golf till you fall asleep, and wake up tonight renewed. So, there are laws in place to govern physics. And what is physics? Physics is trying to figure out what the hell's going on with the energy budget of the universe. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. I'm Eshkalar. I don't know everything. That would be work. But I'm Eshkalar. There are simple, fundamental qualities of existence that only I understand, and that's why I teach, so that you can be perfect too. That's right. Now, I'm a soul, and I'm perfect, so I'm a perfect asshole, right? Oh, golly. My parents were right. So anyway, and there is a quantity to that soul. There are qualities of that soul. It has an existence. It takes up space in the energy budget of the universe. That's right. Souls are distinctly quantifiable, and none is identical, except for people who like techno. I'm kidding. So anyway, what makes a soul distinct and discrete And what gives the soul its pattern, which is a generic pattern of the person's potential. I don't know how to describe that to you because you don't have the language of Mog, which would allow me to express it correctly. And you don't have a translator. So, wow, Google Translate does not do Mog. Look it up. And it's the language of dragons. It's highly derived from the Greek of this world, and the Greek of other quantum universes, what we call the myriad ways, because they are myriad, and each one is a Tao. It's a way. See that? And if you squeeze them all together, you get way. No, I'm kidding. So, every soul is different from every other soul. How can that be, Eshkalar? How can you have 7 billion discrete souls? And what if there are other planets with other aliens on them? What if they have souls? Eshkalar? Well, that's right. There is a quantifiable quality to the soul that allows it to exist independent of all the other souls. Yes. And it is both referred to in the business as the law of conservation of souls, in the language of thermodynamics, metaphysical thermodynamics. But indeed, in addition, each soul is a small bundle of Kel particles. Remember I talked about the gauge particle, the magical standing field, the Kel? Well, some Kel particles are bound up into long lived associations that we call souls. And these are discrete because, like I said, watch some scientists muck it up, because of this guy named Pauli. Yeah. You know the guy that managed Brock Lesnar. No, not him. I mean, Pauli, like the Pauli exclusion principle. That there are discrete levels, right, of energization, some word in there, and in which no two particles can exist concurrently. Yeah. So what electron shells are all about. Yeah. So every soul operates a slightly different energy state than the ones around it. And that is determined by this random combination of just a very few Kels, this basic information that once there was in Eshkalar. Brave Sir Eshkalar, he ran from the dragon, whatever. I don't run from dragons because Arcanex has some good weed, I'll tell you what. Whoa, yeah, I'll buy him a beer in the bar. But anyway, each soul is discrete from the rest because of this tiny difference in the arrangement of the Kel particles into this very small fourth dimensional pattern. Yeah. And of course the fourth dimensional aspect of it allows it to persist unusually through time. Yeah. To the end of a universe. So, in terms of any given universe, there is a given amount of energy. It's called the energy budget of the universe. And souls, being bundles of Kel particles, are part of the energy budget of that universe. When all work is done in a universe, when everything is cold, even temperatured, nothing is changing. The universe is homogeneous at last, which is apparently what law wants. Yeah. But when the whole universe is uniform and homogeneous at last, there will be no souls. So escape while you can. Yeah. You don't do that through death, dude. That's the hard way. You do that through astral projection. Yeah. What's his name? Wild Bull or whatever the drink is. But anyway, that guy, he says that you do what's called hell riding, where you conceive of small differences in your universe that in the aggregate become the large differences that separate your universe from the next universe. And by doing so, you can pass through from your universe to the next universe. However, it takes a powerful psionic to be able to do it. You have to have like psychic powers out the wazoo. Well, not the wazoo, but you know what I mean. So it's very important that you find a way to escape your universe before it suffers energy death. Look that up. It's a real thing. The energy death of the universe. They talk about it in colleges where they have to give you like letters after your name. Like, what is it? IBTC. And what's the other one? IYBMAD. No, 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 no. It's YMBMADIYCRT. I forgot what that meant. Yeah, that's on a T-shirt that a girl was wearing. It says, I says, what's that mean? She says, if you can't read this, you have to buy me a drink. And that turned into an interesting interlude, I must say, and especially at a place where in most of the town the drafts were a quarter, and I was paying $5 for whatever she was drinking. I didn't smell any alcohol in it. I guess it was something good because made her very friendly. Life is good. So anyway, that's how you can have so many discrete, independent souls from one another, even though they just share very few qualities that are mixed in with to create each individual one. And the reason you can't have two of the exact same configuration is because of the Pauli exclusion principle as it applies to metaphysical energy budgets. Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Physics is for people who aren't ready for metaphysics, and metaphysics is for people that don't want to do the hard work, the hammering and the dropping balls and the rolling stuff down a slope. And, yeah, trying to catch it. Oops, that was a mistake. Galileo only had enough money for 2 iron balls, and so he had a light one made and a heavy one made, and he had to drop them and run to the ground and see which one. It was, this is the A material, folks. So that's what I wanted to tell you about. There are souls in your universe, and they have to do with magic. And they are discrete and unique simply because of the fact that they are created as a bundle, a Pauli exclusion principle affected bundle of Kells, the gauge particle of the magical standing field. It's a thing. Yeah. If you read Patchworld, those novels by Wild Bull or whatever his name is, you would understand this very well. And you'd be yawning sometimes and going, ha ha, sometimes, and laughing sometimes, and going like, oh crap, what's going to happen? Wait, what? You know, if you like that kind of stuff, wow. Wild Bull or whatever his name is, he writes all those words down. Jeez. I'm too busy getting high and watching pretty girls because, you know, if you have time in the world and you're not spending it getting high and watching pretty girls, whatever it is you like to watch, horses, dogs, foxes mating out in the moors, that's where the story of the screaming banshees, not the real Banshee from Ireland, the elven ones. I don't mean the real ones. I mean the ones that we think of as banshees, you know, like the ghost women screaming on the moors. That's foxes mating. That's where that story comes from. And mothers used it to keep their fractious kids in bed at night. Yeah, before they started to lock the door at age 12 or so. Okay, that's all I have to say.